Hello, thank you for stopping by to see our video on community development projects. On this series, we look at the little details that surrounds the issue of development in Niger Delta, how projects are arrived at, how they are selected, and who does what, and how people are empowered capacity building wise to be able to deliver in terms of development. And if you have not seen our previous videos, you can always check the links in the description below and you'll be able to find the the link to those videos. Now, today we are focusing on proposal preparation, proposal stage in the contracting process, especially as it concerns projects in the communities, how they are being executed. My name is Charles Wahiwe, and I have my colleague Ernest Tuke, and we work for Neokecci Multi Concepts. We do our work in rural communities in the Niger Delta, and our focus is simply development of the Niger Delta. Yeah, we facilitate those services on behalf of multinationals like Shell. Now, today we are looking at proposal stage in the contracting process. You will be wondering, what, considering all that we hear in around the world in terms of corruption and the rest of them, and you'll be wondering what process does, what are the processes involved when it comes to development projects in the communities? How are they arrived at? So today, I want to invite my colleague Ernest to walk us through the proposal preparation stage. Ernest, you can take it from here.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Talking about the proposal stage, like in our previous videos, we have already made mention of the fact that communities are the ones that actually select the projects that are meant for execution. Now, after selecting the project at the community stage, what happens? There needs to be a written proposal to the sponsors of the particular project. In this case, in most cases being the SPDC and JV, to say this is what we want to do based on what has been stated during the SLA activities. But something that can usually happen, you can guess well, is that some community leaders may want to change the projects to suit themselves. So what we do as a mentoring NGO to try and bridge this gap of some possible corruption, of some possible change in what community has agreed on, is that we try to make sure that those proposals pass through us, and we look at them to make sure that what is in those proposals are the same with what the community actually stated during the needs assessment. So by so doing, this gap is bridged, and we'll make sure that what the committee actually selected is what is finally approved and proposed and sent in for approval, so that these projects can be actually done the way the community wants it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernest. Yes, if we are able to follow it thoroughly, we see that a level of transparency is built into the process, and that's just the whole idea behind it, so that there will be transparency. Because apart from just trying to develop the Niger Delta, apart from just trying to bring projects to life, it's also about bringing transparency. It's also about going away, fundamentally from what is all around us, across the world, where issues of corruption here and there. So the whole idea is just to be able to make every process, every bit of this process transparent. So thank you so much for taking us through that. So you can agree with me that everything ties into the other process, and if some of the things we are talking about mentioning here, we have discussed some of them in details in our previous videos. You can always see the link below, and you can always subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and putting on the notification bell, so that you will be aware when we drop new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday. So Ernest, let's take it a step further. Beyond the proposal stage, beyond this point, we also have to look at the next point in the chain. yeah, because like we are trying to share with those who are watching this video, that the idea is to make the process transparent. So after the proposals have been written and it is ensured that they are in line with the community development plan, it is ensured they are in line with what the community told us when we engage the community one-on-one during the sustainable livelihood assessment. So the next stage will now be, after that vetting process has been done, checks and balances have been looked at, and everybody is well assured that this is in line with the CDP. So the next bit in the process will also be to now take it back to the community, so that now there could not be proper bidding for the jobs. But then in trying to go for bidding, the contractors need to be guided, because like I said, this process is also about capacity building. It's also about trying to empower the communities with skills that they need. So they need to be guided, and then to be able to guide them based on the proposal that has been brought, based on the best practice that has been followed, you now give them back a blank BOQ so that they can now go and prepare and then do their quotation. So Ernest, now take us through the next bit in the process so that we can be able to now tie it up with where we are coming from.
Okay, talking about after the proposal has been sent in and it has been approved, making sure that it agrees with all other documents, especially the community development plan, then there's need for professionals to now try to break down different stages of that particular project. For example, if you are constructing a community town hall or a community hall, what is needed? You have all the necessary things, the clearing of the site, you have the materials that are needed and all that. So the professionals have to now break it down to say this is what and what is needed for this project. So it is not just something that is just left open for any contractor to just say, this is what we want, this is what we will do, this is what we will do. So a particular guide is given. That's what we call, that guide is what we call the bill of quantity, which is abbreviated as BOQ. So when this has been done, the blank BOQs, which have stated the different steps that are needed for that project to be completed, we send it back, like my colleague has said, we send it back. Then the contractors now use that to fill out what those particular stages will cost. So this whole process, like if you look at it very well, it's not just left in the hands of just anybody, but in the hands of professionals. In the process, to contractors who are also indigenous, their capacities are built and they are made to understand what is needed in a particular project.
Okay, thank you so much, because so from engaging the communities during the sustainable livelihood assessment to coming back and then scoping the jobs, where all the parties go for a joint scoping, the community development boards for the respective GMOU groups and the NGO facilitating the process with the multinational, especially in this case, SPDC, going for a joint scoping. After that, after everybody is back, the community representatives prepare their proposals, and proposal at every point in the process is also vetted. And when all that has been done, yeah, then the BOQ blank in this instance is also returned to them. So you go advertise it and let the contractors who have been pre-qualified go and bid. And using those, of course, using the already identified, because everybody went for the scoping. It was a joint scoping. Everybody identified what needed to be there. And so using that blank BOQ, the contractors will now be able to quote for the job, and all the other processes will now follow, bid, opening, and all of that. While we are taking time to talk about this, is somebody may be wondering, what are the processes involved in the jobs that are being given out for developmental purposes especially around the GMOU space. And now, if you're wondering what GMOU is, if you've not seen our previous videos, you can always go back. This is a series where we have taken time to really break down some of these things. And we are doing this because we are involved, we are eyewitnesses, we follow the process, we facilitate the process, and we just want to be able to share this information so that many people can be aware and know that these are transparent processes that are involved. Yes, time really flies when these discussions go on. And so Ernest would like to wind it down at this point. What will be your last thoughts before we end the session for today, so that we can continue again later in the week, with the other processes that are involved down the line? What will be your parting shots?
If we understand this very well, there's a statement made earlier in our first video that the GMOU is development of the people, by the people, and for the people. So the people are actually involved from the beginning, the very starting point, to the end. So from talking about the scoping, the proposal, down to advert, you see that everything revolves around the people. And that is actually what development is all about. Because if you cannot develop the people, then you can't say you actually have some level of development. So the story of the Niger Delta through the GMOU is a story of people getting involved in their own development. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Ernest. People getting involved in their own development. When it comes to the GMOU space, when it comes to the social investment by SPDC in these communities, this has been the process. That is the model, the GMOU model. Other things might be happening, especially in the public procurement process, in the public projects and all of that. But in this space, the GMOU space, the Global Memorandum of Understanding, as much as possible, the process is being made transparent so that it can follow best practice. It can follow, so that anywhere in the world, you can always, yes, benchmark it with the best whatsoever. So we thank you for being part of this program today. And we encourage you to follow the series and other series that we'll also be talking about. So subscribe to the channel, click the link and in the subscribe button, and you can see the previous videos through the links provided in the description. Thank you so much. My name is Charles Mahiwe, and it's been with me here, Ernest Uke, my colleague. It's bye from us for today. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.